It's time. It's time, everybody. We're here at the end of all things, out here. Not in a cave just yet. We're looking at birds. Uh, actually, there's Hyrule Castle. The end of the game. At least the other game. Not so much this game. What we're here today to do is to do the thing that I've been pretending doesn't exist for a long time now. And we're gonna check out this big hole in the ground. This is a chasm. Oh, don't do it. Apparently I haven't done that the entire time. Oh, that's delightful. I didn't... Okay. If you're too sluggish to move. I think I'll be okay. I think I've encountered this before. Are you gonna do it every time I walk through this? Can I just stress this man over and over and over again? I think I'll be okay, my guy. We're here. So, prior to recording this, I was, like, pulling up some videos, pre-release stuff, and trying to remember, put myself in the mindset of somebody that had not played this game yet, that was, like, aware of what this game kind of was. We knew that it was all this down here. We knew we had some new toys. We knew we had... Where's the Good Sky Islands? There's the Good Sky Islands. We knew all that was there. And we knew, based on some pre-release footage, that there were some cave stuff. But I don't think anybody knew exactly what that entailed. At least I didn't, despite the fact that so I went back, I was looking at some footage. Shush, birds. And there's very clearly some tells of what was going to be in the game. Yeah, well, you know what, let's just jump down to this hole. Here we go. We have a cave entrance here, of sorts. I remember the specific entrance. This is the one the game sends you towards first. This is the one the game is trying to, like, hint that you should, much in the way that the game likes to send you to, like, a certain dungeon first, right? In the previous game it was Zora Land, and in this game it's Rita Land. They want you to come here. The depths. This is the depths. This is the secret final super cave in the game Tears of the Kingdom. They put a whole Underdark into the video game, which I don't... As far as... I was trying to stay pretty spoiler light on the video game prior to launch. So I didn't expect this to be in the game. I knew people expected some cave stuff. There were definitely shots of some of the temple areas that are down here. But I don't think anybody suspected that you had an entire mirrored version of the overworld existing as an underworld to everything else. And it was a huge, huge shock. I thought I heard somebody knock on my door. Get prepared for a long episode, folks. You're going to know what the total runtime is. I don't know what the total runtime is. I'm going to record this until I feel like I don't need to record anymore. My general idea is to give you all, my wonderful, perfect viewers, just as much of a tour as makes sense of this whole grand land. Mirror Realm, Shadow Realm. In roughly, I think I'm going to kind of do what I just did there. We're going to kind of do a clockwise through and not look at every single thing, because boy, there are 7,000 name locations. Actually, because of the Zelda Notes app, I have seen every named location in the video game. They made it really easy to get all of those. Which I guess we'll have some time. We're gonna have some time to talk about it. So I'm probably gonna fly us around and yap continually for the next question mark amount of time. I don't know. If I have to take breaks to, like, say, eat a piece of pizza or feed a cat, I will just stop and then start again in exactly the same spot. And hopefully figure out how to do a cool Star Wars, like, wipe effect at that time. which would be fun. But yeah, that's what we're here to do. We're gonna do one of those swipes, and then we're gonna start doing stuff again. Okay, so let's build a chariot. I forgot how to play the video game. It's funny, I was thinking a lot about the pre-release stuff still. I guess I gotta get through all that before I can talk about everything else. This entrance here, I remember, like, first week, much more discreet roof to this little spot here, too, which is kind of fun. Like, the first week this game was out, this is, like, the first light route, too. See, they're really trying to, oh, no. I remember watching one Austin Walker, like, stream the first opening hours of the game, and he managed to get to the surface and then find one of these pits that he seemed to kind of know about a little bit, and then he, like, attached several of the wings together and, like, very carefully descended down here without before getting the parachute, the paraglider, which was delightful to think about. But this is it. This is what we're here to talk about. This is the cave. A very big, very vast cave. This is like the third space of Tears of the Kingdom. A game that kind of has these three spaces that we should... Let's set a destination while I'm sitting here talking. Let's go straight. It's the third space, where each progressing in each space kind of gives you tools to conquer a different space. Down here, there's a ton of Zonite, which these guys have. Should I pick a fight? Sure. Maybe not. And Zonite lets you do all the cool transformy stuff. Oh. That's fine. These guys are just here, minding their own business. Get it? But down here, before you've built yourself up to be a super powerful hero, is a little tough because of the aforementioned gloom. I couldn't remember what it was called. I was gonna say goop. That'll sap your life. Makes it a dangerous proposition being down here. But you can go to the sky, where they have the Sundelians, the flowers that make life better, because they heal that, the lost hearts. So, I should also mention that this place is pitch dark when you come down here. I did not mention this yet, because it is no longer pitch dark, because I have seen all of it. And so I've brightened up the place a little bit. You don't know when you're down here for the first time that it's going to be like the whole map, right? And it took me an embarrassing amount of time playing this the first time to realize that it is just, by and large, the map that you already know, but mirrored slightly. Truly an embarrassing amount of time passed before I realized that's what was going on here. So you do just spend a lot of time in this video game, this very long video game. A lot of the time spent is just groping around in the dark here to try and find whatever secrets this place might have. I think when I did this the first time too, I did the thing where I wasn't like doing a little bit at a time, I was doing everything all at once, which is a mistake. The gameplay's better when you dip into this and dip into that. There are mines here. This place is not a very exciting looking mine, but there are lots of them. You kind of end up, unfortunately, just kind of having the same half a dozen different features that you run into here over and over again. Which you have, like, the little mine encampment we saw, or not mine encampment, this is the monster encampment in which they are mining. You've got actual mines that exist usually directly beneath mountains. Some more grandiose than others. What do you got? We're hunting for weapons. It's mostly what we're going to be doing this episode. There's and a couple other kind of like areas. Categories of areas. That's not a very exciting weapon. We gotta get really choosy with this. There are like these guys down here. I didn't even mention that when we walked past it just now. There are fallen soldiers that bear uncorrupted weapons, if you're so inclined as to care about that. And given how disposable weapons are, trying to chase these down is not always, like, the most important thing, at least in my mind, but, you know. I'm also not doing a lot of monster farming in this game. I kind of hit the point... we need to really set some goals, because this is gonna take forever doing it this way. Okay, so let's see. We're gonna go... do a big circle around and get to the abandoned central mine. That's a good stopping place. And that should go pretty quick. With Breath of the Wild, I have 100%ed that game in about every... and I think every possible interpretation of the term. Like, truly 100% of that game. And I got to this point in the game, Tears of the Kingdom, and I kind of had to have a moment and decide, well, how much am I going to actually finish this game? And I hit the point where I've done all the side quests, and I've explored the whole map, and I've done a lot of the big stuff, but I'm gonna... oh, I guess I've not done all the side quests, because I've not completed the... that's a big one. What do you got for me? Oh, there's 3 goons. Hold on. What do you guys got? What do you guys got? Oh, it's just spears. What is this underneath, though? Ah, but it's underneath. See? That makes sense. The stuff remaining in this game to 100% that I have not 100%ed is, like, grinding out, fighting all of the boss monsters, and then grinding out, upgrading all of the equipment, which would just involve fighting more boss monsters, because that's the way you accomplish that goal. I'm gonna not make this turn. It's fine. And I chose that to be the breaking point, you know? You have to draw the line somewhere, that's where I drew the line. It's these guys. I'm just gonna ignore them, we're gonna leave. Pack your bags. Because ultimately, having spent hundreds of hours in both these games, I don't think the combat's that good. It's totally fine for a while, but really just gets tiring, and none of the fights change, and it's not worth it. So, not 100%ing beyond what I've already done here. And I forget why that matters. Oh, just because I was saying, I don't remember what point I was making with that. Zelda notes makes it real easy to accomplish all this stuff. Which I think I talked about on a previous episode, or I was talking to somebody about, I forget. About how the existence of Zelda notes is kind of just Nintendo taking hold of a type of website that already exists. I literally have, like, Zelda Dungeon pulled up in a window right now, because I was looking at stuff. And this is just Nintendo trying to cut out the middleman a little bit. But then that gets into weird stuff with... oh, sorry, I got really distracted because I looked to my actual television screen, and it's so much darker on my television screen. Anyway, I'm rambling. Not 100%ing video game. Check. Am showing you all how cool this Underdark looks. Isn't this cool? Big mushroom trees and stone spires and all sorts of nonsense. We go see a man. Let's go see a man. Where's that man? Where's that man? There's a lot of, like, implied stuff happening here that does not get elaborated on much in the way that these games love to operate. And among them is the existence of... Where is he? Oh, is this guy, like, buried? This guy's, like, buried somewhere, I think. This guy. Bargainer statue. Some kind of, like, ferryman of the dead guy who exists as a big statue in the way that we've seen the goddess statues exist. Oh. This man. Oh, nope. That's a... Oh, boy. Out of the way. You can offer him pose, which exists for a multitude of rewards. I have all of these in my house. Like, what is this guy? What's his deal? Don't really worry about it. Is he good? Is he evil? Doesn't really matter. Where are we going? I don't want to go fight a boss. There's all sorts of bosses down here as well, as established. Okay, let's get a move on now. So we gotta get to... that way. We're gonna hit a wall if we go that way. We need to angle a little bit more. Come on, come on, come on. Okay. I thought about trying to build like a bespoke, cool vehicle for this. But then I decided, no, I'm just gonna use the one that everybody uses. The 2 fans and a seat. And it'll be more efficient. There's Lionel. Because this game is 3 times as big, there are like 3 times as many bosses to fight, and that's another reason I really did not want to go traverse the entire world to kill every single boss. It's not seem like a good use of my time as a human being that lives on the earth. Oh. There's a royal bow nearby. Why was I tracking royal bows? Huh. Okay, we're gonna get to like the one of the next big areas. There's not that many, like... You're gonna realize pretty quick that a lot of this is kind of just the same strewn about. And it's very, like, meticulously crafted and beautiful, but, like... You kind of have to start asking the question, to what end? You know? Are we just back around the... No, we're not. Okay. This whole thing is, like, lilting to the left. This thing is, like... my first car that I had in high school that just constantly turned to the left. There's a man! The Frox is here. We love the Frox. We love to see him. It's a boss exclusive to down here. Also, there are some statues that are supposed to be leading you to... Oh, he wants me to fight the Frox? Should we fight the Frox? Let's fight the Frox, folks. I think we've earned it. Oh, what the... Okay, we'll fight a Frox. I need a weapon to fight the man. Okay. And glitch out of it. a pretty common problem. I'm gonna fight this regular Frox, but not one of the stronger variants thereof. Thank you. Alright, and that's that. You get the normal kind of stuff. You get a lot of Zonite down here. You also get these large crystalline charges, which allowed me to make my battery as big as it is. I remember the first time I played through the game feeling very... finding it very difficult to enhance my battery storage and feeling like that was something that was holding me back. And then in this game, I kept a pace pretty well, keeping my batteries updated, upgraded. But also felt like that was just less of a barrier than I thought it was the first time I played the game. Because ultimately, the game likes to limit you using your toys anyways, so... what's this down here? Oh, okay, yeah, there's a whole... we found the big mines, not the little cheesy mines that exist in places where mountains exist. We're finding the mines that exist underneath major settlements, which is one of the main features that you have to find while you're down here. There's a whole... Do I have to put Riju away? Because Riju is gonna do this the whole time. One of the 3 major story tracks that you're on in the video game is running around the depths, looking for... Oh, what's his face? The Iga guy, whose name I can't remember. Koga, there it is. A lot of the stuff down here is just chasing Koga around to the various complexes underneath the major settlements in the overworld. And then doing fights with him. Which, those are perhaps the most this game gets Banjo-Kazooie nuts and bolts with it. I feel like I have perhaps made it known that I wish this game got more Banjo-Kazooie nuts and bolts with it in general. And that's maybe the most stuff. That's really you fighting Grunty at the end of every level. Whee! So this is maybe one of the bigger complexes here. And there's lots of, like, stuff happening. They really built out some architecture here, but, like... It doesn't... I don't know, I'm mixed about it. It's really cool. Like, look how big this is. This is huge. This is just, like, showing off to a certain extent. I'm gonna open a can of Topo Chico, because I need a beverage. We're just showing off here, if I'm the dev. And saying, yeah, we have this whole thing. Here's another man. He's one of those guys. They all share the same set of items. As you meet more of them, that pool of items gets bigger. It's really cool. And there's like a big puzzle. Reviving this guy specifically involves finding all of his eyeballs on the surface and then bringing it to him. This is maybe one of the most fun little areas because there's all these little offshoots in the spots where the shrines were previously. You all know this. You know this. I don't have to tell you all this. Maybe I have to tell you. Anyway. But you come here, you'll fight a Koga, you get more auto-build stuff, you also get access to... You need to go to the other side of this place, I think. Places where you can spend more of that zonite. Like here. And so here's a guy that will take your zonite and let you buy charges, which you can then use to upgrade your batteries, or these kind of charges that let you refill your battery. And yeah, there's basically one of these under every major settlement. This is among the biggest, I think. There's kind of one other one that'll be as big that we'll get to, I think. And here's where a boss was at before. Grunty's lair, right here. Let's not belabor this too much. I want to go over... Hold on, which way is that? What? It would be fun to go to the spring. There's a secret spring here. Is another thing that shows up here in a couple spots. No, nope. I don't need a minecart. I need a... Why is it... Oh, I need it. Chariot, please. They love to leave a lot of space where you can kind of interpret stuff, and so here, way below the Shrine of Resurrection, there's like a Spring of Resurrection, so it's like the question of, well, did they build those places of power, or Spring of Revival, I should say. And that's the kind of water that'll fill your hearts up, you know? A lot of, like, this existing as a mirror to the surface world in about every way they could muster up. It does mean eventually, once you start to, like, understand the game's coda, you start to process stuff out really fast when you're like, oh, okay, I'm gonna go over here. Literally just now, as I'm, like, trying to figure out where we're going next on this little trip, I see this and I'm like, oh, there's a Coliseum over there. I don't need to go over there. I know what's in there already. Just mentally just, like, buried that and just moved on from that entirely, despite the fact that we're here to show everything off. So, you know, just interesting stuff. There's a bigger mine down here. That's kind of cool. What's that all over there? Have I been here? Again, this is all part of a really cool quest to do. In retrospect, I probably could have filmed some of these little segments that are cooler than others, but I really liked the idea of doing one big episode at the end and presenting this all as one cave, which it basically is, minus a few little offshoots that we're not going to get to. You know, there's a few places that will not be covered. It's not going to be extensive. This is just kind of a nice little tour. But we can come over here real quick for we're gonna do a flyby here. Try and knock this guy off his hat. The other thing you can find, oh, I'm way too fast, is this cool Iga hideouts. They're kind of fun. Each one's kind of got a little, like, gimmick about how to get into it, as if it's more of a something akin to what you would do with, like, the towers in the surface, but they kind of repeat themselves a little bit. The man here in all red, he guards the corresponding red door there that has a toy inside of it. It's cute. It's cooler down here. It was really a good idea to be like, to knock Koga into the depths in the previous game and then have to, like, use this as a branching off point in this game. Be like, well, he's down there, so him and his guys are just down there now. This just looks cool. I'm just enjoying the scenery here as we sneak up on... That's Dinroll, maybe? Oh, and a boss. Also, the bosses from the various dungeons respawn down here, and so you can go refight them and get their really valuable fuse items whenever you beat one. We're not going to do that. I'm going to go fly by, unless I accidentally get in combat with one, and then maybe you can convince me to do it. I need to pop one of those. Delicious. So many charges. Just a full heal for my zillion batteries. I have been ignoring the fact that we're like... Where am I? Oh, we went like far. There's all these statues. Let's take a little breather here and meet our friends. These little guys are cute. And confusing, because they're like little mini froxes. What do they call them? Just little frogs. I don't know what like gameplay purpose they serve. There's already plenty of enemies and I don't quite get it. I also don't understand how they play. There's like... So I was watching a bunch of trailers for this video game. And the very first teaser has a bunch of footage of things that don't actually happen in the finished game, which is always a classic move in trailers. And among them, it has a shot of, like, Link and Zelda going into the depths. And they're riding a bunch of the Dondons, which are creatures that show up in one spot in this video game that are seemingly kind of related to the Froxes? Maybe? Question mark? Anyway, and I thought that they were going to do something with that, but they don't do anything with it. Here's a labyrinth. The labyrinths exist in all three terraces. I thought the boss might respawn, but no. No boss to be seen. Okay, good. And are involved in lengthy quests where you have to basically redo the original labyrinth, do a sky version of the labyrinth, and then come do a boss fight in the bottom labyrinth. I was trying to catch up with our friend there, but he's going too fast for me. Oh no, it's Farosh. Of course it's Farosh. It's always Farosh. And I think maybe that's where I start to bristle at some of the reused content, is when it's like, here's the same labyrinth again. But... they are just cool, though, also. So, there's that. Hop aboard. We'll go cut our way across the desert. Maybe go check out the abandoned mine there. I need to go more to the right. Follow Farosh, always. You can see we've kind of zooted around here. We're gonna go around the mine, go above some other stuff. I could try and grab some ingredients, but I kind of don't care that much. I guess I do kind of care a little bit. Actually, you can... This might be a fun time. Something you could not do in the previous game is you can walk along and grab spikes just directly off of our friend here, as long as they don't get electrocuted. I have the ability to not get electrocuted if I so choose, but... Oh, and I can just grab it right there. That was a scale, not a horn. Can I get a horn too? Can I have my cake and eat it? No, I cannot. Okay. Well, that's fair. They're just on set paths. They just kind of roam around. I honestly don't remember in the previous game if we see them descend. No, we definitely see them descend into somewhere. Because I remember farming this man and just having him pop up in the same part every day so you could set a campfire and farm him. There's a tent. Is there a guy with a tent? Yeah. That's not a researcher, that's an EGA guy. That's clearly an EGA guy. He even has his EGA, like, device that he built here. That's really funny. I like that. You get little... You've seen the muddle buds and bomb flowers, and there's a third thing, the dazzle fruits. That all exist down here. Again, part of, like... Sometimes I would hit a point and I'm like, I need more bomb flowers. It's time to go make a depths run. And you just kind of go... That's the interplay that I think they were looking for. I feel like that's what the gameplay impetus for having the 3 spheres is. It's like knowing that when you were running out of certain resources that it would behoove you to go and stop exploring the sphere that you're in and go explore a different sphere, right? I am running out of bomb flowers. I should go do some depths runs and see what I can get up to down there. Because I know there's bombs down there. There's always bombs down there. You go a little bit more right, but I don't want to incur the wrath of the Frox, because he'll just jump up here, apparently. In that sense, I think of it as if I was doing, like, the type of game that has, like, a different sphere to it. I don't remember this Coliseum at all. Have I done that Coliseum? I'm surely I've done that Coliseum, but I barely remember it. I never did much Stardew Valley, but Stardew Valley is a game where it's like, you have, like, the normal game that you play and the different ways to approach that, but also, like, there's a mine that you can go down into and do, like, mine runs. And you can do that instead of doing the normal style. I want to go check that out. Like the normal style gameplay, and in my mind this is kind of like that. This is just an extra little area where it's like, instead of playing the main regular game, I can go play this other thing that has different kinds of rewards. It's a whole separate reward track in some sense. And it provides a little bit different kind of experience for the player. None of the EGA camps are labeled on the map, and that's messing with me a little bit right now. I feel like they should be named. Give me, much in the way we have Sheikah shrines, give me EGA shrines, please, actually. That would be great. Can the next game have EGA shrines, please? It says it's a graveyard. I don't remember what this is. Kind of just looks like a graveyard. So this is cool. This is kind of a... This is not a type of thing that's... Who's down there? Who are these men? Oh, those are Gibdos. Okay. What does this correspond to on the surface? Arbiter's Grounds. Fascinating. Okay. That's fascinating. And here we have a Coliseum. These exist, and they're exactly what they sound like. You go in there and you fight waves of a specific kind of enemy to get some kind of cool reward. A lot of the rewards down here are like the items themed after that come out of other Zelda games. A lot of armor sets mostly. I think it's entirely armor sets actually. We can go poke our head in here. It's legal. Can I tell which one this is from out here? Oh, it might not even let me fight it again if I've already done it, or it's a bunch of... Oh, it's the fellas. The fellas are here. That's a bunch of Horriblins. I almost called them hooliblins, like hooligans. I feel like there's a whiteboard at NOA somewhere where they had both those names written, and there was a fierce debate over which one they were going to pick. Somebody's trying to attack me. I'm ignoring that. There's big skeletons here, too. And I think this is in place of where... Oh, no, it's not in place. Well, there's still big skeletons here. But yeah, I don't know. This is an attempt at doing kind of a cool Hollow Earth thing, I guess. You know, spending a lot of time playing down here, and... I have nothing else to say about it, which is going to make the last 2 hours of this Royal Boner Bar. I'm just going to let go. I'm not going to fight for it. There's a man to fight. Where's that? Oh, so that's the... Okay, let's go over there. We're going to cut a big diagonal across the underground desert, which is definitely not a desert here. Definitely kind of just looks the same as the rest of it that we've seen. There are some areas we're going to get to that do have kind of discrete looks to them, which is good. But we got a little ways to go. We might spend some time just kind of motoring here for a little bit. Because we got to get to some other stuff. Past some more of these. Oh, still tilting to the left at all times. Here's another one of those mines. I want to go due north. Due north is kind of not working out so much. We're kind of just bumbling around here. I wonder if I could build something a little quicker. We're gonna get up to this little platform here, and we're gonna take a moment and experiment with some vehicle typings. We're also about to go over like a massive like depression in the earth here, because that's where some mountains are normally. And there's more mines, and a big pool of water. But I want to go up on top of this, because this is where Koga would have landed. It is beautiful, though. It is, like, particularly beautiful. They did make a really beautiful space. Oh, there's that thing down there, too. Shoot. That's not the one to show off, but pay attention to that pillar. That pillar that's holding the world afloat. Okay, we'll stop here. And while my stuff refills, run around for a second. And break a perfectly good weapon. I want a different vehicle. Sure. I'm gonna live to regret spending all my money on this, considering I probably could have done that cheaper had I stopped somewhere else. Also, I'm not gonna be able to get down. Here we go. Goodbye, faithful steed. It's fine. People who are very good at this game have, like, know how to farm the zonite necessary so that this is not an obstacle for their enjoyment. There's a slightly stronger Frox. I'm gonna ignore him, hopefully. Where are we going? We need to go north? I think Bloopy Burrow is pretty cool. We can go over there real quick, but maybe I'll leave that as an exercise to the viewer in the interest of time, because I'm foreseeing this being... we can be a little more exhausted with it. Mostly I'm just concerned I'm going to run out of things to say, but that's impossible. I can say anything for any length of time, ever. This doesn't seem very much faster than what I had before, is mostly what I've learned here. We might switch to a plane type situation. Maybe that'll be quicker, maybe not. I did spend like 50 ore on this vehicle that's not really doing it for me, which is a little bit of a bummer, but you know, these things happen. Constantly checking and rechecking trajectory. Yeah, I'm not at all into this boat that I built. I think this boat was a mistake. And I'm gonna hit a stalactite. Oh, we've hit the upper limits. We're hitting the troposphere. We're gonna bonk. It's gonna be very humorous. Bloopy Burrow. Coming up on it. Close enough that I might ditch this ride. Try to highlight the weird, cool stuff down here, because there is weird, cool stuff. I think this is a weird, cool thing. I think this is a weird, cool thing that I didn't know about until, like, very relatively recently in the playthrough. I came here to get bombs. That's why we're here. Oh. Thanks. Oh, we took damage. Oh no. Oh god. Thanks, bud. Okay. There we go. Yeah, this is not a good chariot. Dislike. That's okay. There we go. This stuff down here. This is what we're here for. Getting out of here is going to be very silly, but... I have to imagine that this was fun to make. Even if you were kind of like... given the directive of making like a mirror image of the surface. And a lot of that at times just feels like kind of just filling in area. with a lot of the same kind of stuff. But then you get to do fun little cool areas like this. This doesn't do anything. There's no quest rewards for being here. This is just... Well, Satori Mountain is above here. And we don't want to do Satori Mine. That's boring. Everything else is a mine. So let's make a very cute little grove. It's peaceful. It just has some pose. That's kind of it. Oh, and some bloopies. There are bloopies here. That's true. I did shoot that bloopy. That's true. Hi, guys. This is just where they live. I'm in their territory. Honestly, I should get attacked for being here. It's cute. It's good. This stuff's good. I'm glad we came over here. There's like more to this than I remember there being. This is well within the project grounds. A cute cave with bloopies. Yeah, this is great. I love this place. Just some fun places in the depths like this, here and there. By and large, it's very samey, but then you get a little cool spot like this. Alright, how the butt do we get out of here? Let's build a new boat. I don't think I can do a plane would not help us. I need to get more vertical. This is so much faster. What's that? That's a Talus. There he is, just standing there, just chilling. There are like literally like 70 Taluses I've not fought in this game. It's fine. I fought a Talus once or twice in my life. I don't need to do it again. Okay, we're gonna... Gerudo Canyon Mine... Where's our next objective? I guess it's gonna be the Bargainer statue over here? Oh, we gotta go just due north. We gotta go look at some lava falls. Oh, what do you got? What do you got? What do you got? I'm like also trying to like keep an eye out for good weapons as we're doing this a little bit. You know, just here and there. Nope. I have the boat. Why did I think that was gonna go any different? Alright. That worked out pretty good for me, looking away and looking at my phone for a second and not crashing into a tree. I was like, really leaving that up to fate. Oh god. Nope. Okay, well. That's fine. Let me in. Okay, we gotta get up the slip. Okay, we're gonna go up above a boss fight. Which we're not gonna deal with. Which guy is this anyways? Oh, it's like an actual boss guy. Can I avoid aggroing this man? Yes, I can. Okay. That's the Goma guy, which is not a bad fight when you're in a closed arena, but is not all that great to fight when he's just out in the world like this. We'll have more to say on him in 20 minutes. Can I make it to the next stop in 20 minutes? Read on. Let's go... Shoots. Is there anything worth coming around to this part? Not really. More mines. I need to get all the way to, like, here, unfortunately, because that's where the fun stuff is. But that does mean we're going to pass... Oh, we'll get the barter statue way back. It's fine. Okay. Trajectory is acceptable. Okay, this is going quick. This is going quick. We have, like, gone through, like, half the map already, basically, if you think about it. I don't think that they are going to do a third stab at a game with this map. I don't think Nintendo has that in them. I think that this game kind of just ended up happening the way it did just because of timing, where they weren't really prepared to move on to the next big thing and wanted to do a more direct follow-up to their very successful video game that ended up taking a lot longer to come out than originally anticipated because of material conditions in the real world, right? I think that's something, as I have spent too much time on the internet complaining about this video game, is you have to acknowledge, like, the actual material reality of them trying to, like, make a follow-up with some tricky conditions in the real world that ended up making it take 6 years to come out. And so I don't think the people making this game would take another crack at it in this way, and I don't think that the fans of the series want to see that either, so I don't anticipate it happening. But if they did, boy, you could really do some stuff with all this space down here. There's a lot of prime real estate happening here that you could do some fun stuff with. I think I think I've said before, if I were to make a sequel to this game, I would lean into the, oh, what's it called? There's pre-release stuff for Breath of the Wild where they pitched the idea of doing, like, Minish-sized stuff. They don't use the term Minish, but, like, clearly the inspiration is shrinking down and going into really tiny little areas. And I think that a game where you centered around changing Link's size dynamically would be fun. And you could do really tiny areas, or you could do areas where you're really big, which they've messed around with a little bit in Zelda before. And I think having all this room down here to make it like a giant playground would be a lot of fun. You could come up with some fun activities you could do. And that'd be a good use of all the space. I often wondered a lot about, you know, speculating when you're doing a direct follow-up like this. Like, what if the move was to make everything more, you know, going from Breath of the Wild 2 Tears of the Kingdom, when you're going to reuse the same world, what if everything became more, like, civilized suddenly, and there was more infrastructure, and more buildings, and more people? What if we had rebuilt Hyrule Castle Town instead of moving in next door to Lookout Landing? And my mind goes to that here, like, what if everybody settled down here and started to build up minecart tracks, and it really went full Minecraft with it all of a sudden? And I'm like, that you'd lose some of the splendor, though. This vast, untamed area. That's not as fun. Am I gonna get through here? Yes. Okay. There's a Battle Talus directly below another boss. Okay, we came up here to Hebra. There's no weather down here, exactly. There's no chance of creating a frozen tundra underground. But they do have, as established, plate tectonics and lava. So here underneath this mountain and another mountain that we'll get to eventually, there's lava falls. I think these actually correspond on the surface to hot spring. Yeah, hot springs. So they did a good job with that. I like that. Oh god, he's back. It's this man again. They really want me to fight that guy, and I really don't want to because I would like this to not go for 4 hours like I originally thought. Because I don't have 4 hours of conversation in me, folks. So we're not going to go fight that man. We're going to instead go fly through these lava falls. Oh, not through them. That would be bad. I have to put on my trench coat. There we go. Except I'm about to get stuck. So let's go around. It's cute. It's cool. I like that this is all here. I have farmed this location many times, specifically. For all the good ore. Oh. You're still right there, huh? Okay. This might be a good place to stop and see another thing, maybe? How far down is that? Oh no, it's like way in the corner. We're not doing that. There's more lava falls that way. And over here. Where? I got really turned around there. We like turned all the way around. Okay. Okay, okay, okay. Looking at this on too small of a screen as I look at the OBS recording in my monitor and waving my camera around frantically, I got really turned around just now. Or lava falls. Link really wants to turn to the right now for some reason. There's another skeleton over there. That's a thing that exists. Okay, where we go next? I want to go to that Barbener statue over there, which is like that trajectory. No, we already had the good trajectory for it. You just decided to mess that up. Oh no, we are out of gas. If I refill in free fall, how does that work? Oh, poorly. That was a waste of $1. Okay. Okay. I'll summon my amiibo. In attack mode. Ooh, a vision of the alternate reality where Toys to Life caught on more, and this game's amiibo thing was like you build like Zonai monster creations and then you summon them with amiibo to fight. Honestly, a Zelda, I forever beating the drum that a Zelda monster tamer game would go extremely hard. But I wonder, I was gonna say, I wonder how hesitant Nintendo is to double dip on monster training stuff. But they were happy to promote Yokai Watch back in the day, so. You could cross-pollinate this stuff, as long as they don't Pokemonify it too much. Gotta have a distinct identity. There's that man a third time. They love to put this man in the depths. They really want me to fight that guy. I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it. There are like 2 other bosses that we're supposed to have here to fight. 3 other bosses? Can you refight? No. I think it's just 2 other bosses. How we looking? Trajectory could be better. So I think it was this ridge that we're coming up on is where I first realized that everything was just doubled. Everything was a mirror image. Because we get up to this big ridge is where Tanagar Canyon is. Not this one. That one up ahead. And I didn't realize that until I think that's the place I finally made that connection the first time I played this game. And I was like, oh wait, Why am I having to scale such a big heavy wall to get up to this place over here where I know there's light route? Oh wait, it's because this is an inversion of Tanagar Canyon. Oh. I think there's some hooligans up here too, but I don't want to fight them. I just want to go say hi to the statue. We're doing an all-statue speedrun of the depths. I guess I should mention the other statues I'm not paying attention to. We kind of passed them. There was like the Gerudo statues. I think there are also Zora and Rito statues as well. And Goron statues that will get you to the various mines beneath major settlements. Which I guess in retrospect is really funny, because once you realize they're just under major settlements, you don't need that information. But maybe it's like an intentional misdirect? Here's the guy. This is our guy. This is our man. Happy to make it to him finally. Oh no. I thought there were guys here, and I was like, nah, there's no guys. Can I shoosh up into your shins? Not really. I don't want to fight, guys. I don't want to fight. He's so big. I love this man. And you get up here, and you get the little bit of troposphere happening. This is great. There he is. Offer pose. I'm not giving any pose, but I did want to come say hi. Okay, we're gonna take a quick star wipe here, and then we'll be back with some more. Okay, we're back. We've got quite a lot left, so let's see if we can get this going pretty quick. Hold on. I'd consider trying to fly from there, but I thought that was a bad idea. So, I want to take us on a quick detour to go stare a dragon in the face, and then we're going to loop around and look at some trees, and then we got a whole lot here to talk about. So let's see how quickly I can accomplish those things in rapid succession. Yeah. It does just like to tilt to the left. I take my hand off the thing. I'm thinking this is just I got this specific dirigible off a QR code offline somewhere, which I thought was going to be the good one, but it's kind of jank slightly. And that's fine. But prior to them making it so that you could share QR codes for contraptions, the like level of complexity that people had to building the exact perfect one of these vehicles was hilarious. There we go. I think there's a frogs around here. Like the little super shimmies that people would accomplish. Very evocative of like speedrunning stuff. Here's another E-camp. Let's fly over the E-camp and say hi to them. Hello, Iga. Actually, let's fight this man real quick. I was thinking about the fact that I advertised this as a thing and didn't actually do anything with it. Can I get up here? And just stab you? Great. Perfect. What was I talking about? Oh yeah, in the way people would do like weird backflip setups to make the perfect hover car. Just very funny stuff. So you can kill the guy, which would then unlock this little supply depot, which I've already cleared out. There were 2 chests here previously, but I have all those chests now because I have all the little pre-builts. And then you get a little bit of lore. Colosseum ruins. Many as 6 structures. Eerie growls. Glory to Master Koga. Many of these. Not named. Give me more, guys. I want to know more about the Geek Clan. At all times. Hold on. We're gonna do a little detour. Oh, is he dead? Did he not respawn? Oh. Oh, no, there he is. Okay. I fought that guy. I won against him. He's hiding underneath the Typhlo ruins. I think I call it the Dragon's Den? Dragon's Dogma? Gleok Den. Yeah, I fought that guy. Again, bosses and places to fight. Because kind of once you get to it, that's kind of what the game is about. If you manage to play the game for all 300 hours and see everything else the game has to offer, the game suddenly becomes about fighting bosses that are all kind of the same boss. And that's not generally been what I like to do in video games, I think. Generally. Okay, we gotta go... Would it have been faster to go the other way? No, because I want to go... Actually, it would be faster to go... this way. We're gonna go look at what's underneath the forest. Because we saw it. I think I did that. I think we did that as an episode where we went into the Great Deku Tree and we fought a boss. I think we did that as an episode, and I want to show what's around that, because it's kind of cool that they let you do that. Oh, but here... Is that one of the guys? It's one of the guys. Okay. And here's another thing we can do real quick. Finding all sorts of stuff in rapid succession of things that I wanted to show off. So let's show... This is probably a good place to do this. Let's show this off. Here. Oh, he just didn't want to pull the chute. That's a pillar. Pillar that holds the world together. That's not... No, I never want to... I never want to ride the robot. It's sad. The sad state of affairs that I never want to ride the robot. This pillar goes to the surface. And you can do the long shoosh. The longest shoosh that's ever been shooshed. And you end up in a place. These places don't necessarily hold much significance. I gotta hit B before I get stuck up there and then have to start this recording over. That would be bad. Where is my boat? Did my boat despawn because I went to the surface? I think it did. Okay. Yeah. So, hypothetically, if you were the specific kind of masochist that would not use fast travel in Tears of the Kingdom. I can buy it in Breath of the Wild, but in Tears of the Kingdom, you would hypothetically have to like find one of these to return to the surface every time you wanted to do a depths run. I mean, there are people that have done it. I've seen YouTube videos suggesting this is something that people do. You truly could play the video game Tears of the Kingdom for like 700 hours if you played the game that way. I don't recommend it. Let's go hop on here. not hit the tree. Great job. There's a structure over there we're going to have to contend with momentarily, but first, let's go to the right and avoid the Stalnox. I want to get to there. We're coming up on the Fire Temple, but we're coming up from behind, which is really funny. The game does not want you coming over here this way, but it's fine. There's like... Oh, I'm about to get real distracted. I'm sorry, folks. There's like structure here I've never been to. Hold on. Is this part of the Fire Temple normal? This is part of the Fire Temple normal. Okay. Yeah, no, this is... You normally come here. I guess we're coming to the Fire Temple first because I'm really easily distracted. This is the Fire Temple. I don't like this dungeon very much. I complained a lot about this dungeon the first time I played the video game. I think I was more kind to it the second time I played the game, but have we seen it? We saw a dungeon. We saw the Lightning Temple. That's true. I like the conceit that the dungeons in this game... Well, one, they're actual dungeons and not just Divine Beasts. Not that I hated the Divine Beasts. I was a Divine Beast defender to some extent. But, like... This game is cool because it's like, this is the Fire Temple, but it's the lost city of Garandia. Like, it's assigning the moniker Fire Temple to, like, a place that already has a name, right? And I like that a lot, because we see a lot of forest temples, and a lot of fire temples, and a lot of water temples, and... So this gets to be the Fire Temple of this game. And it's a Lost Goron city that isn't very fun to play. I'm just a big old hater. I have a true hater's heart. Can I find the one room in this place that I hate? So it's like this big mining complex. There's a bunch of minecart puzzles that are incredibly cheesable because it's a big open world game. But I want to see if I can find... The one specific... It's this room up here. Can I get up there without it being too difficult? Can I get there the intended way? Let's do a little more minecart nonsense. Also, it's not giving me any music. I wonder if that's intentional. I don't know if I've gone back into a dungeon after beating that dungeon. Don't know. I went the wrong way. There goes my ride. Goodbye, ride. Farewell. I want to get into there. Somehow, some way. There we go. Then I need to get up a little higher. What I actually care about is like directly above this. Oh, you're not gonna let me do it. You should let me get up there. Video game. Oh, it really didn't let me do it. Oh no, here's what I want to get to anyway, so that's fine. This room! This room made me so mad. Is it this one? Or is it the one version of this that's up a little higher? It might be the version of this that's up a little higher, actually. There's a puzzle where you have to build a ramp, and it's all revolves around Yunoba's little launch attack, and I didn't understand it the first time I played this game. Because it didn't really... I missed the cue that the game was trying to give me, that like, wow, Yunoba's having a hard time here. Yunoba's having such a hard time being here? Jeez, okay, Yunobo. It's fine, I'll forgive you. I think it's the version of this that exists way up above here, so... oh. The game doesn't want me to cheat. Too bad. The lack of music here is really making this, like, uncomfortable in a way that's kind of interesting. Okay, up we go. Yeah, but like all of these ones, you have to use your Sage's power to activate the areas of interest in each part of the dungeon to open up the final boss chamber, which we should go take a look at before we leave. And here it is, here it is, here it is. This. Here. I didn't understand that you have to build a ramp to shoot Unova up out of this, like, hardened lava. Just like that. That's what the game's trying to get you to do. And I spent... I feel like it was a solid, like, 45 minutes trying to build, like, scaffolding to climb up to so that I could do the shot correctly. And I was so salty when I had to look it up eventually and, like, realize that, no, they want you to build a ramp. And I'm like, well, you didn't have me build a ramp any other time other than this time, game. And it wouldn't, like, just give it to me in a way that I felt it should just give it to me. You should just let me build scaffolding. But as soon as you get up into scaffolding, as you saw, these guys stop working as well. And they start having problems, because maybe having a bunch of NPCs... maybe having a bunch of your core, like, abilities that you need to use to solve dungeons mapped to finicky NPCs is not such a good idea. You know? Maybe they should have thought about that. So, that was my big axe to grind the last time, or the first time I played the game. This time I played this, it was mostly fine, though I did, again, some of these puzzles are just easier to cheese. Because even before you have access to... Oh, we're gonna go down. Even before you have access to auto build, I had all kinds of jetpack shields. God, every time that happens, I laugh because it's a side effect of these Switch 2 Joy-Cons being kind of crappy. There's the boss chamber. You can see it from the outside. That's kind of cool. I'm glad that I can see it from the outside. It is fun to walk around all this afterwards. After I've already dealt with all the problem. Is there a boss in here? Can I fight the boss again here? I'd be really mad if it made me fight the boss again here, but I would have earned it. So that Goron guy from earlier, you fight him here in a nice round chamber that is fun to fight. There he goes. Not so much fun when you're just on a big flat field, but so it goes. What are we doing from here then? Sheesh. We need to get out of the fire temple. We did not get to the forest like I was intending. Anyway, I like the idea of this being an abandoned city, even though it doesn't get that across too much, but I don't know. I've given other dungeons that are abandoned cities and other Zelda games more credit than this, so I should probably extend a little bit of credit to where credit's due. Because I do like a lost city as a dungeon. That's a good concept. The Goron should come settle here. I'm turning around on my poo-pooing the idea of, like, settling the depths, but we should settle the depths a little bit. Let the Gorons move down here. I don't know what that does for the world state of the era of the wild, but I don't know. Sounds kind of cool, honestly. Okay, let's make a sweep over the caldera, I guess. We don't need to go to every... Are we gonna go touch every bargainer statue? I did say that, but did we miss any? Okay, well, we will go touch that bargainer statue. We don't really need to go to the lake up here. So let's go do a swoop over the crater. Go back over here and grab forest. And then kiss bargainer statue and then make our way through Lineru. Yeah, the fact that the Gorons have discovered their, like, ancestral, like, lost... This is Goron Atlantis, like, literally. And nobody seems to really know about it, I guess. And that's why people don't seem to care. But they should let the Gorons resettle Atlantis. That'd be cool. I love that for them. Let them go back. As long as the Gorons are happy with whatever's going on in the Zelda game, I'm happy for them. This is like a whole, like, intended runaround area in the game. Because you do a bunch of stuff leading up to falling down here, including fighting a boss that only shows up one time in the game. Bananas. This game. So you fall down there. Hold on. There we go. Yeah, you fall down in the middle of that lake, and then you make your way up and eventually get to there. But again, it's all dark, as established. It is cool being down here. I like being inside of a volcano. Going back through, I'm gonna keep talking about the Fire Temple. Going back through the Fire Temple after the fact, when it's just kind of a space, is making me appreciate it so much more than when I had to go through it in a dungeon manner. I just like it. I just like it. I keep finding that as I'm going back through Breath of the Tears of the... just in general. Having gotten to the point where I'm, like, just done. I've played as much as I'm ever going to play on the game's terms, and I keep finding little nooks and crannies where I can settle in and enjoy some just little rolling around lore tidbits in my head kind of activities. And I have such a much more enjoyment with that. So I know that these games have what it takes to, like, make that part of my brain happy. It's just nestled in the middle of a zillion-hour game, and so you kind of end up losing sight of that over such a large amount of time. That's all it is. They made the game too big for its own good. I think that's where I've landed, ultimately. Game's too big. You made the game too big. You should make the next game smaller. I bet they're gonna make the next game smaller. I mean, they already kind of did, because Echoes of Wisdom came out. That's just a normal... That's a normal, like, video game. I think you're in and out in, like, 20 hours, and that's even probably long. Ocarina of Time Remake this fall will be 25 hours long. I love throwing out predictions because at any moment, like, I'm recording this on a day. This isn't going to come out for another number of days from now. Anything could happen. I could be right. I could be wrong. This could come out the same day as they announce whatever the next Zelda thing is. I don't know. That's in the future. Okay, we made it out of fire and into trees. We're underneath the forest. You can just kind of roll around here. This is actually how you're supposed to get into the Korok Forest, because the Lost Woods no longer works. Which is really funny, because then I ended up knowing this the second time playing the game. I did not ever walk into the Lost Woods, and that was one of the place names that I never claimed. Ooh. So I had to go walk into the Lost Woods to get credit for the Lost Woods location. Oh, please. But you and I, dear viewer, saw this place, but from the inside of, I guess, this pillar? From the inside of this pillar, where there's a boss fight. Because this is like the roots of the Deku Tree. Just asking a lot of questions about the nature of the Zelda world. Questions that do not have answers, because they ultimately don't matter that much, but... There we go. That's one of the areas to get up. You can get to the forest. We're not going to the forest. We're gonna go back out of here. Where did I say we're gonna go kiss a tree? We're gonna go kiss a tree. No, we're gonna kiss a statue. But I do want to see if any of these guys have any tasty weapons for me. That's a okay weapon, I guess. Some of these guys somewhere have, like, really good weapons, and I have not run into them, and I did not, like, use any of the game's features to, like, keep track of where the really particularly good items are. And that's okay. It's not like, because everything is, like... You have to build your items. I don't have it nearly as down as I did in Breath of the Wild, where it's like, oh yeah, you can just teleport to... I think it was literally the tower that was here, and right above that tower was one of the really good two-handed weapons that you can just reliably get every Blood Moon. That's all still here. I did that with bows recently. That's why 2 hours into this video, I reveal the purpose of the bow notification is because I was trying to get some better bows. And I did that by going to Hyrule Castle, where there was a bunch of good bows. We're gonna run out of gas? I might pop a gas pill. Okay, what's left? Bargainer Statue, Pass Laneru. One more big thing, really. Right, because we just kind of pass through Laneru. Kind of coming up on it, honestly. We're going to be doing a lot of traversal, but mostly we're just going to be trying to get over to this area. But we'll go kiss the statue first. There's like an acoustic sound that happens, acoustic sound, as if not all sound is not acoustic. That sounds like, it's a percussion sound, and it sounds like somebody knocking on my door, and I look every single time. Every time, without fail, I turn my head. This ends up getting to be kind of the most visually distinct place in the depths. Because we've seen kind of most of the flavors that the depths has to offer at this point. But lava gets to be the one extra spicy flavor. You wonder if they could have, like, accomplished this without making this the full... Where am I going with the sentence? A version of Tears of the Kingdom that is more restrained and has these parts in the depths, but what if it was just a couple discrete parts, right? That weren't all one big connected world. I think on, like, an episode a year ago, I was like, the Skyward Sword version of Tears of the Kingdom would go pretty hard. Where instead of a big open world, it was, like, pulling out some of the more intentional like authored areas of this game and turning them into like a normal linear adventure game in the way that past Zelda games were. Like, that vision, that scope of game compared to what we got would be fascinating to see. And something like that Death Mountain Crater area would be like a level in the Skyward Sword version. No! Goodbye. Am I anywhere close to the statue? Kinda. The Skyward Sword version of Tears of the Kingdom is a fascinating thing. And you would have, like... Well, this is the part you go into the volcano, and there's a cool crater you're going around, and then there's a dungeon at the end of it. And then there'd be a couple other little areas like that in the depths, but that's kind of it. I just like churning that vision of the game around in my head a little bit. Do I need to wear this clothes anymore? I think we're switching. We found another spring. And where there's a spring, there's my man. There he is. I don't need any clumps. I'm full of clumps, actually. We're all clumped up. I love these guys. There's these guys, there's also... I didn't even run into it at all yet, did I? There's like mole men also down here. I have a mole man outfit. Let's put the mole man outfit on. Speaking of Skyward Sword, there's this implication of like mole men that live down here. Were they those guys? Probably not. Who were they? We don't know. It's not really elaborated on. They're kind of a... What's the words I'm looking for? They had a bunch of mole men in Skyward Sword. The Mogma. Immediately tip over. Tip me over and pour me out. Like, did the Mogma used to live down here? What are they up to? Tell me more about what the Mogma are up to. I want to hear the story about the Mogma. Oh, that's a scary place. We should go to there. We should go there. We should go there. We should go there. Let's go to the... I was going to say we could go to the wrist mine, but you can kind of understand what's happening there just by looking at the map. So instead, let's go to Battle Zone. But carefully, because if I go the wrong way, I'll have to fight a boss on the way to Battle Zone. And that's too much combat. Can I knock this guy off his boat? No. I got greedy. He didn't even pay me any mind. That guy did not even notice that I existed. That's fine. Okay, where are we going? Okay. Yeah, the Skyward Sword version of Tears of the Kingdom would be like 30 hours long. Would hit all the major story beats. And have none of the exploration. And people would be very frustrated about it. In a different way that people get frustrated about this game. This is underneath the, Nope, Akala Citadel, there it is. Forgotten every place name in the video game. There's mostly just a lot of enemies. I don't know if I want to necessarily fight all these guys. This is going on long enough as it is. But if you did want to fight a million men, you can come down here. I think at the very bottom there's truly like a lot of guys that are just down there. Yeah. Okay, where are we going next? Linear mine. We could cut a shortcut and get a little lost, or we can go... Can I thread that needle? Or is that... I kind of don't remember what entrance looks like. Let's try and find it out together, folks. What's this place? What is this place? Is it like subsidiary fight zone? That's subsidiary fight zone. Okay. Alright. What's above here? Oh, it's more of Aquila Citadel. I see, okay. It's like the parade. Yes, no, parade grounds is like where I'm at right now. Okay, oh god. Salvaged. Wait. That's a big one. Hold on. Is there a good item there? That's a particularly big platform for items. Oh, it's a 3-item guy one. Anything good? Oh no! No, I want that one. Give me your sword. Okay. It's like hanging on. No. Okay. This is kind of fun. Well, I think it's kind of fun as somebody that's playing it and not watching it, but I'm imagining watching this. And I'm imagining the idea of watching kind of what it looks like when I play this game normally, and you kind of some insight into that. This is what it looks like when this fool plays this game normal style. A lot of, ooh, distraction. Okay, where are we going? I need to go slightly that way. Okay. There's a hole in a wall that I think we have to try and navigate. Maybe? Hopefully. If not, then we'll figure out what else we're supposed to do. Because now it doesn't seem correct. Yeah, I don't like the look of that. Let's go around. Is there a way around? No, the way around is so far. No, I'm going. Is that not it right there? No, because that's not it. Is there a way through here or not? Sometimes there's cool little cave entrances, sometimes there's not, and I don't know how to tell you which one's which. Puff shroom. Like an hour and a half ago, I thought it was a dazzle fruit was the third thing you find down here, but no, you fool. It's a puff shroom. Well, maybe there's a way through, maybe there's a way not, that I just don't know. I'll actually be able to tell better from the other way. Maybe? Oh, I don't want to fight any of you all. Can you distract them long enough for me to decide where we're going? Please and thank you. There we go. Honestly, not doing that bad if I've only taken 3 hearts of health this whole time. Truly successfully avoiding doing any combat. I had a panic for a second. I looked at the wrong field on my screen and saw no recording happening, and boy, whew, one fear. We're like almost there. We're like so close to being almost there. Nope, too far, too far, too far, too far. Okay. Oh, I don't have enough lift. I don't have enough lift. Oh, God. Okay. I was running out of lift so fast. I'm just glad I didn't die doing that. Okay. 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 Where are we at? We have truly taken the long way around. There was nothing else we needed to see over there, right? No. Abandoned Terry Mine. I got spoilers for y'all. It's the same as the rest of the mines. Let's just focus on getting over to somewhere. Where is this cool place? I don't know anything about that cool place. Okay. We're trying to get to the Spirit Temple, so let's try and make our way to the Spirit Temple as efficiently as possible, because I think I am exhausted what I can say about the depths, minus the cool stuff happening over at the Spirit Temple. I guess it's a testament to the size of this game that even blowing past this on a hover cart, this game still feels really big. I feel like we had that same thing happen in the previous game when you got the Master Cycle and suddenly you're able to zip all around. There's a Zora statue. Zip all around the world. In the words of Daft Punk. And, no, the game's still big. It's still a big game. We're like getting into parts of the depths that I feel like I've been to recently, because we're getting into parts of the game that I have played more recently. It did ultimately take me like 2 years to play through this game again, which is a much more reasonable pace than how fast I played this game the first time. Is there a Barkender statue that I... No, we already met that man. There is one coming up there, though, so we gotta make sure to go talk to him. So that's our next goal. Okay. But I guess to the game's detriment, I don't feel like I have gained any mastery over this game that I did not gain when I played the game speedily. Luxuriating in this, I did find some stuff that I didn't find before, which is good. Like we talked about. Like we talked about in the last, like, 20 minutes, even. But, like, you wonder, like, was there more? If that's Farosh again, I swear if that's Ferosh again. Now we've seen all 3 Froxes. That might just be... No, that might be Naedra, actually. Okay, this is Naedra's stomping ground anyway, so that makes more sense. See, look, and she's descending. Or she's ascending, rather. Other direction. Where's the other... There's one more Bargainer statue we gotta get to at some point, right? Where's the other guy? Hold on. There. So we gotta get... Oh, that Bargainer statue is, like, on the way to... That's right in smack in the middle of everything we're dealing with here soon, so that's good. There she goes. Heading to the surface. We're just gonna let this battery run out, and then I'm just gonna plummet. And it'll be great. This is what I'm looking for. I do have an abundance of wandering spirits, but I'm gonna hang on to them. Okay, let's make another life raft. We're so close, folks. We're so close. We need to go to... kind of vaguely that way. Okay, great. Glad to be coming to the end of playing Tears of the Kingdom. Not that I have been, like, continually playing it the whole time, very clearly. I have played an assortment of other things and had an assortment of other life experiences in the intervening time, but it's good to complete a project, you know? To come up to the end of something. I laugh because I'm like ready to be done with Zelda forever, but also I'm pretty sure there's like 3 other Zelda games I want to play immediately after this. Because I am a clown that doesn't know what's good for me. It's okay. I play other video games too. I just don't talk about those into microphones, generally speaking. Because those games don't have caves. Often. Sometimes they do. Sometimes there are caves. But not always. Or if they are, they're not formatted the correct way to be something that I want to talk about. This game just has the right kind of caves and the right complexity of caves and the right cave density to it that made this approach to a project seem perfect and ideal. Goodbye, Hateno. Everything here is just named after what's on the surface, weirdly. You could just say maybe that's Link naming everything as he's going by, or not even Link, it's the Explorer group, whatever their name is. The Explorer faction. Do we go up or down? I guess we stay up, and then we can go to the Construct Factory? Yeah. There are games that have caves that I would be interested in potentially checking out in this kind of a format. But not right away. And I don't think any other Zelda game is gonna quite match this specific way that this game does caves. Why are there lava falls underneath here? Huh. That just feels like it was too samey and we needed to do something different. Which is respectable and correct. Can I'm so turned around all of a sudden. Hold on. We're about to crash into some walls. I got so turned around again. It takes 2 seconds. It takes 2 seconds down here to just let your eyes go out of focus momentarily, and suddenly you're like careening into a wall, and you're like, where have I been for the last 20 minutes? Good grief. Okay. You're right. Don't you dare get mad at me for being too close to fire. Moles can handle it. Moles can handle it. Okay, now we're feeling better. We want to go that way-ish. There's 2 temples down here in the depths. I guess there's some restraint over the fact that not all of them are down in the depths. Or in the sky, even. The distribution there is good. 2 in the sky, 2 in the depths, 1 on the surface. There's a bow down there. So the distribution's good. I'm going the wrong way. I won't go that way yet. Go to the right, go to the right, go to the right. See? It takes so little time to get turned around. We're gonna go there in a minute. But we gotta go this way first. Oh, okay. What do you got? What do you got? What do you got? What do you got? I couldn't, like, even register what do you had. Okay, coming up on some depots. The secret 5th dungeon that the game surprises you with is over here, the Spirit Temple. It's actually behind us. It was that other structure over there, but I would not consider that room there at the end to be the temple. I would consider all the rest of the silly stuff over here to be the temple. Oh, it's got good music, though. Here. So you do questing on the surface. That gets you here. This place. Where the goal is to build a robot to house Minoru, who is here. Who's been hanging out with us for some time that I've just been, like, ignoring. They give you a robot in this video game. Rock'em, sock'em, robot. The problem is she, like, you have to attach stuff to her, and that stuff breaks just as easily as every other device in the game, and so it's never worth the time investment to keep her outfitted. So I mostly just let her do what she's gonna do and don't pay much attention. Which is kind of a bummer, because they did put a robot that you can pilot into this video game. It seems like that should be something that you should like, should be a tentpole feature a little bit, and is not. You get her by coming here. You have to solve a quest on the surface to end up here because you have her head. And then you have to go assemble the little cookie cutter parts, which are in little adjacent depots, as annotated on the map. Right, right, left, left. And those have their little puzzles, and that's kind of the equivalent of what you would do in another dungeon. I mostly found that to be fine. Some of those specific puzzles they're very much like, you gotta figure out how to solve this correctly, or you have to do a very jank workaround in most cases. I remember doing some particularly jank workarounds in some of these the first time. Pool of water. Where's this underneath anyways? A Popple Foothills. Okay. I guess that makes sense. There's cool stuff up here. This is a crazy structure though. Again, we're at these places where the structure being this massive and having so much stuff going on does not have any immediate value in like a I am somebody building this space in the video game way, right? We need you to design a building that the player will... Oh, there's a guy here. Right? Yeah. Caretaker construct. Hey, caretaker construct. Construct factory. Parts delivered here from depots are assembled into crafter constructs. Ship to Dragonhead Island. They're supposed to be sad and lonely, but that's not really given much space in this big game. Yeah, no, it's like, here's this big building that we built and spent a lot of time designing, when only you really ever have to look at that little front part that we were just at. In some ways, like, a very decadent game in the places that they just had time and money to flesh stuff out. Which is fun for me right now because I like running around this big cool building and being like, man, this is a big cool building. But also you wonder, like, did we need to put this here? Running around this game more, it's funny that none of these like dead constructs can be re-harvested. Suddenly the game gets very near automata with it. Taking the last will and soul from this dead robot, as you do. But yeah, you come here. I'm not going to go into the depots, I don't think. There's somebody here who wants to scrap, but you can have fun with that. You guys can have fun with that. You go to the depots. They're in the various cardinal directions. Actually, they're not even cardinal, they're all diagonal. And then you assemble Minoru, and then you ride Minoru to what is actually the, Oh, he didn't go kiss the statue. You gotta kiss the statue. Sorry, I forgot. Where are my manners? We must go kiss the final statue. Good grief. Now, there's one. Can I... We can go take a peek. We can go take a peek. I don't... Oh no, we cannot go take a peek. You are not let back in. Oh. The game said no. The game said you solved these puzzles. And I said I can sneak in, fine. Whatever, it's cool. Don't worry about it. I don't think this does anything for me, though. Oh, this is cool up here. Okay. Where's the man? Is that him? That's it. Okay. Some old-fashioned climbing rocks. I watched that compilation of videos. Compilation of trailers for it was Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, and that early Breath of the Wild trailer where it's like you can climb anything in this game. I don't know where I'm going with this. I just remember I ran into that again and was like, right, that was a huge thing. This refutation of what had come before in a lot of ways. Alright. Smooch. We did it. I think that's all of them. Let me double check. Bargainer statue. 1, 2, 3. And then 4. 5. We did that one, right? Yeah, we did that one. Okay. Congratulations us, we did it. We saw every bargainer statue. Smithing construct. I don't remember what that man does. We should go see what that guy does. That's where we're going next. There's something behind this waterfall. We have to go look behind the waterfall. Hold on. Come on, you knew I wasn't going to forget about looking behind the waterfall. Very good. There was a thing here. I forget, honestly. Some piece of equipment. But it's cool. Can I drive a sled through water? I hope so. I certainly hope so. Kind of! Okay, that worked. That worked good enough. Got a little disrupted, but we mostly made it work. Alright, we kissed all the men. We've seen all the sights, minus the actual Spirit Temple, so... This game chooses to interpret Spirit Temple as, like, a temple for spirits. Which I don't think the Ocarina of Time Spirit Temple ever really had much significance of being anything spirit-related. Maybe? Maybe somebody has a theory on that. I would like to read... If you have a theory about why the Spirit Temple Ocarina of Time is the Temple of the Spirit, hit me up. Because I've never put much thought into it until now. But over here is the actual Spirit Temple. The last great ruin that we haven't been to in the depths. It's pretty massively impressive, is the thing. It's, like... really cool. What is it underneath, anyways? It's, like, underneath... just that random plateau. Okay. Sometimes there are correlations that matter, and sometimes there are correlations that have no significance. Other than, it made sense that that's a place we could put the specific building we were looking at. This song is very good, also. Sorry, I just want to get quiet because it's really good. Is there anything up before we go down? No. Not particularly. A game with a really minimalist soundtrack that occasionally has some really, like, just good songs in it. I'm stuck, I gotta go this way. Okay, down the hatch. It's this place. It's crazy looking, right? Oh, let me, please. Big, cool place. I don't know if it's come up on me talking to you all. Probably not. But you do the 4 main temples, including the one we saw earlier that I didn't like before, but have maybe a slight new appreciation of it. You play those other 4 temples, and you get the same cutscene recycled 4 times in a way that's been criticized by many people, myself included. And then I came here and did this dungeon, and you get a different cutscene, a different set of cutscenes that actually hit pretty well. I was like, oh, this is actually, like, affecting and good. Which I did not expect. Where's my girl? Do I not get my homies here? Can I not equip Minoru? I was gonna equip Minoru, and then now she's not here. Yeah, the Minoru stuff ended up really working for me, playing the game this time. Which I did not remember from the first time. It might have also affected me the last playthrough, but I just don't remember. Particle effect. No? Particle effect? Particle effect. Particle effects. Pleasantly surprised. It's nice when... Oh, she's over there, that's why. She's not going to hang out with me because she's standing over there. Yeah, always pleasantly surprised when you get to a story beat. Like an emotional core story beat of a thing, and it hits for good. Because that's just a good feeling when you're engaging with the work that's trying to hit your emotions, and it hits. It resonates. It's good. It happened this time in a way that I was very surprised. That's true. I did reclaim it. You surely abide at building his power. Sort of hope for the Game Boy. What do you all do for me? Oh, right! I forgot I could do this. I don't need any of that. Why can you produce ancient blades, though? That's so weird. Well, that's it, I think, folks. This was it. This was the final cave. The depths. The greatest cave of them all, to some extent. No bullfrog down here. No shrine. Just 2 dungeons and 7,000 bosses to avoid. and all the Zonite a girl could ever eat. You know there's one more thing. You know there's one more thing. And that's what we're gonna do tomorrow.